In this video, we are going to go over how to solve one-step equations involving the multiplication of both sides of the equation by integers. Let's rock and roll. In letter A, we've got the problem to solve x divided by -5 equals -8, or the quotient of x and -5 is -8. Now some of us can do this mentally. I just want to point that out. There's nothing wrong with that. You might look at that and say, well, 40 divided by -5 is -8, so 40 is my answer. That's awesome. How to show it done out so that we have a good idea of how to do out the algebra, especially once the equations get more and more involved, that's what we're going to roll with now. So how do I undo division by -5? I multiply by -5. So my role here, as with other equations, is to undo what's being done to the variable. And then what I do to this side, I do to the other side of the equation. Now, I realize the way that I've written that, it kind of looks like I've got a decimal point there. Let me make sure that you are clear that I'm multiplying by -5. There we go. So now I've confirmed that -5 undoes -5. So I'm left with x on the left side. And on the right side, now I can focus on the simplification. -5 times -8 is a positive of 40. And we'll go back to that one to show how to check these answers. So m over -4 is 42, or 42 is equal to m divided by -4. How do we solve this? Well, you're looking at how to undo division by -4. Don't worry that it's on the right side of the equation. We're just focused on undoing that and getting the variable alone. What I do to one side of the equation, of course I do to the other. And so now I've verified that -4 does indeed divide out perfectly with -4 to leave us with m. Technically times the 1 that's left over from doing that division, which is just m. And then we do negative times a positive will be a negative. 4 times 42 is 168. Whoa. And that is our solution. Not bad. Let's check out our final example. We've got t over 15 is equal to 6. We want to undo division by 15. We do that by multiplying by 15. Of course, on both sides to maintain the truth of that original equation. We notice that 15 divided by 15 is 1 times t is just t. So we've isolated the variable. It was our goal. Now we'll focus on simplifying the result of having multiplied both sides by 15. 6 times 15, well, that is equal to 90. Nice. And that's it as far as solving these equations is concerned. Pretty sweet stuff. I'm going to go over letter A and how you will use a strategy called checking your solution to make sure that you're right. So very simple strategy here. Like before, you're going to take x equals 40, your solution, your answer, and you're going to evaluate it back in for x because we're saying that x is 40. So if x is 40, we replace it with 40. And the question we're asking ourselves is 40 over -5 equal to the original -8. Remember, the original problem was x over -5 equals -8. Okay, well, 40 divided by -5 is -8, which we know is equal to -8. And so our answer of 40, perfect. That's all I've got for you, peeps. Go practice those one-step equations solving by using multiplication of integers.